It's been 50 years, Sigewinne, and you haven't aged a day. I think everyone knows you are not human. I finally found you, after all these years. I still remember, you know. It was you who saved me that night.
I might get to make a deal today.
Oh, it's not a formula, but...
What?
When I tried Rawat's skincare product, I noticed it had a certain special component in it. So I'm guessing his skincare lotion contains the fruit...
Huh. Impressive guesswork.
Ah!
But it only contains a tiny amount of the active ingredient.
Well, I found a way to reverse the dilution process, giving...
That's impossible.
If I tell you some of the ingredients, I think you can figure it out. First, you need to...
Tainted hydrophantasms and transoceanic pearls.
So? Can we make...
Sounds good to me. There's a delivery pipeline beneath this window. Drop the potion in.
Nope, not trusting you that easily. You're like those naughty kids who try to hide their illness. Open the...
Even if you're not bluffing, your potion won't cure my face permanently. I'm not closing the valve this time.
Fine, then I'll just stand here with the potion in my hand, and...
No.
It's open!
Disable that sluice gate! Jam it!
That's more like it.
Head nurse, there's too much poison gas in here. We have to leave.
That was too... Oh, don't be too quick to sit down. Moving around a little will help. Same goes for you, Traveler. Flying fast is pretty tiring too, actually. Anyway, shame I ended up giving the improved version to Fontaine after No, please don't. Paimon doesn't want to use that stuff anymore. Still, it was a pretty good job. Yeah, Paimon...
Head nurse, I've done a final head count of our team, and it's a shame that we didn't find Rawat.
What a horrible bunch. Especially that... No, we wouldn't. I always keep a whole bunch of antidotes on me for emergencies. What? Then why did you give him the...
If this is true, I must concur. If he changes his appearance and flees Fontaine, it's unlikely...
No, you don't understand. I gave him the potion...
What do you mean?
We gotta hurry. She won't last much longer.
Don't move a muscle. I might be... Captain? You're just in time. While I was lying in wait, I spotted this crook snooping around, trying...
Oh.
Are you...
What?
This is how Fontaine looked before his face was marred. His current appearance...
Wait, so what's going on? Wasn't the whole point of the potion to disguise himself and escape Fontaine? What?
Enough of this nonsense. Let me in.
You better pipe down. There's an...
To heck with it. Listen to me.
He's gotta be lying, right? Rawat was a victim...
Forced against his will. Back when I was being coerced, everyone thought I was colluding of my own free will. Amazing what a difference a handsome fate...
Save us the speech.
You want an explanation? Fine. I'll tell it how it is. When I was just potting,
Ew. What do you want?
women despise me.
Collaborate?
My peers scorn me.
Mr. Fontaine, was it? I'm most interested in your research. Consider my offer carefully. I doubt you'll find other investment
Only villains would work with.
You want out of the game? Forget about it. Turns out, I slipped up a little. Left your picture with some Marechaussee Phantom officers. So I suggest you put any thoughts of running away to rest.
There was no way out for me. Until
Mr. Rawat,
I became popular with women.
This new potion you developed is fascinating. Genius, in fact. Would you consider working with me?
My peers looked up to me.
I'm very interested in your research, sir. You must know.
And the villains even began to fear. Becoming Rawat showed me what a superficial... But I did not hold a grudge. After all this or so I thought. Mother, I'm back. How are you doing? I bought the best medicine Mora could buy, but nothing would cure her illness. In the end, I hoped she'd at least be able to see her son one last time before she passed, but when everyone else rejected me, the only person who cared about me was my mother.
I have to let her see me again. Even if it means donning my own wretched... Well, is that enough explaining for you?
Have you ever considered if you found a way to completely change your identity?
Why would I want to give up on such a lucrative business?
So you kept being a villain just for...
Villain? By what standard? Is doing evil You have no right to judge me! You're all just fake people!
You're a villain to the... Honestly, I don't see a villain when I look at you.
Don't humor me. You don't seem surprised by me.
I didn't know anything for sure until you chose to take that potion bottle and spare our lives. I had to confirm my suspicions. That's what...
Are you kidding me? A young, promising researcher and a
Well, there were no visual clues. This potion... But I believe I understand humanity a little better than...
Fundamental qualities, huh? Most people probably don't know this, but I think I can guess what your deal is. You used it yourself, didn't you?
Sigewinne? Yes, you're right.
I'll bet it was back in the days when Melazines were It was either carry on living in the gutters as part of an alien race, cast out... So you see...
That's not important right now.
Huh?
Head nurse, I'm not sure.
Don't worry. Back in the warehouse when he was willing to risk sacrificing his only chance of escaping capture by
I see.
So before you arrest him, please allow...
All right.
Mom? It's me, Fontaine. Your son. Mom! What's...
I'm sorry, but I have some bad news.
What?
Your appearance no longer has any bearing on her ability to
No, it can't be. Please, Mom. I've done so much to get to this point. No!
The temperature of his palm must have changed. I'm sorry. It seems I couldn't bring him back to you after all.
It's you?
Oh, of course.
Mom! Why were you...
No more questions, Fontaine.
Mom!
I'm sorry to say this, Fontaine.
The wait is over, everyone! The sale of our—
Another skincare promotion! And it's— Oh, Sigewinne's here too! Hey, Sigewinne! Oh, Traveler Paimon, hello? Of course! Nurse's orders, right? Actually, I'm mostly here to help— Ah! That reminds Paimon. That stuff's— Nope, there's nothing to worry about. Unless modified. Besides, officers have already retrieved— After consulting Monsieur Nervillette, I came up with a way to neutralize any— Wow, it's
Thank you for serving as our consultant, head nurse. All the
Great! Good job!
Also, you mentioned you wanted a copy of Rawat's interrogation records. After he saw his mother for the last time, it was like all his mental defenses came Apparently, the formula was something he discovered by chance while helping the criminal gang produce— Their supplier was Vache. But you could also argue that they were the ones It made for a seamless collaboration.
Vache again, huh?
Make no mistake. The crimes of Vache and his Since the flood cut off their supply of primordial seawater, they've been forced to resort to riskier methods after receiving numerous reports.
That sounds more like it!
Based on what he told us in his confession, we pretty much had him backed, and he tried to throw us off his tail by reporting his accomplices, giving him enough time to transform back. But there was one thing he hadn't anticipated. Even though—
So he tried this once before, huh? Is he really— Looking at the interrogation records, it seems like he spent the first sum of money—
Yes, which is why I suspect that his initial motive— Even so, he went to—
I understand. Why did you want them anyway? Cotton was one of my patients, so I need to put together a medical file for him. Why are you still treating him like your patient? That may be true, but a patient—
One last thing, head nurse. It would be for the best if most of Fontaine knows nothing.
Of course, not—
Thank you for understanding.
So, Sigewinne, did you really use— Why do you sound so surprised, Paimon? You mean that story about the— Yes, but— I know. There are some secrets I can't tell anyone about. Before I tell you, though, could you follow— Of course! Nervillette and Risley, they're—
Good to see you, Traveler. Paimon. I trust all has been
Big news, everyone. The
Is that genuine?
Why wouldn't they?
Yes, you're quite right. When someone you care about After reading the Maréchal Phantom's report—
Take note. That, my friends, is how Monsieur Nervillette—
So the old friend she mentioned was her— Oh, sorry. Paimon didn't mean—
I doubt she considers that title to be offensive, Paimon.
Indeed. In fact, I believe Sigewinne would take it as a sign of affection. In those days, many people harbored prejudices against—
Wow. It's really nice of you two to—
Younger colleague. Well, that might be true for the— Sigewinne served a sentence in the fortress of Meripede hundreds of years ago. Strictly speaking, the head nurse has been around longer than most people in the fortress.
She served a sentence?
Yes. Long before I became Udex, there was an ancient law in Fontaine that— Initially, I and most researchers believed this law to have been imposed, but now, it seems more likely that the law was nothing more than an insurance policy.
Ignorance is bliss, as they—
Sigewinne had her reasons for choosing to obtain a human form.
Could you tell us a little bit more about—
Certainly. Sigewinne does not object to her close friends—
Even with their daughter so ill, they kicked you out? Shame that I don't have the energy to get over there.
Master, what are you—
I discovered a strange disease. I had no choice but to experiment on myself to find a cure.
Then, I'll find a cure for you.
There's no need.
But, Master...
As I said before, a doctor...
I know. But... I'll do whatever it takes.
Even if it means breaking the law.
As long as I don't hurt anyone.
Then I shall make one more final gamble. If I am able to work this miracle, then I will... If not, then it means I will leave you a parting gift.
When Sigewinne returned, she found a potion bottle and a note on the table. After I had confirmed the veracity of the event...
So that's what happened.
I fear Sigewinne only understood the full story after. When I reflected on all this with that knowledge in hand, I felt it. After the final details of the events surrounding Sigewinne's transformation came to light...
Wonder how she...
Since she invited you here, I imagine she intends to speak of the... On behalf of the Mentiras Phantom, I would like to...
Our head nurse and the traveler and...
Sigewinne seems to be in good spirits.
Well, she might be the only permanent medical staff in the fortress.
I am most relieved to hear...
The way you're asking.
Well, I won't lie.
Showing your age a bit there, don't you think?
Indeed. Actually, I often forget...
Well, while we're on the topic...
Yes, and, from the surface to...
Wow. Impressive.
Apologies, that was merely...
That's impossible.
You're here. The old Sigewinne, the witch who gave you the magic... Sounds like after learning the truth... Well, to be honest, what she was planning to... That's just who she was. If lying is what it's... Alright, but I broke the law. Simple as that. True. It's just, you're not like him at all, and everything never... And yet, you were still... Unfair? I happen to think just the opposite. What makes you say that? I knew you'd be curious. The verdict came down. This Melusine is guilty. The Iudex defended the authority of Fontaine law, but he did not confiscate the Melusine's medical kit. And so, the fortress of Meripede gained a new little doctor. She still wore her hood and raincoat, even though it never rained in the fortress. Perhaps thanks to her human appearance, no one refused her treatment. She treated more and more patients, and her sentence grew ever shorter. Finally, the people of the fortress could not live without her, and though her sentence ended, she did not leave them either. Then one day, she received an invitation from the outside world. The location seemed familiar, and when she arrived, an old lady was waiting for her. She saw right through the Melusine's disguise, but didn't reveal it. Instead, she asked a question.
Tell me, why do you think you gained the respect of so many people, despite being a Melusine?
Because I look like a human?
It's been 50 years, Sigewinne, and you haven't aged a day. I think everyone knows you are not human. I finally found you, after all these years. I still remember, you know. It was you who saved me that night.
But how? I was no longer a Melusine by then.
Does it really matter if you're human or Melusine? I remember the warmth of your palm. It's quite unmistakable. And you know what? It hasn't changed one bit. You don't have to hide anymore, Sigewinne. These days, everyone wants to make friends with Melusines. And I think that it's all because of you. I'm sorry I couldn't say this until now, but Thank you, Dr. Melusine.
Now that's an ending Paimon. After hearing everything Potten said, I wanted to tell him that I tried to treat him, but I understand.
Oh, it's nothing.
There's one more reason. In order to restore the appearances of the face-swapping victim.
We don't need it.
Well, even if you chose to destroy it.
Well, fair enough. Still, if this is the very last bottle, Melusine physiology wasn't affected by the Great Flood, right? So that means after all, from a Melusine point of view, Paimon what was Paimon thinking?
Leave it to me. I'd like to stay here with my teacher.